Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Dr. Danish Mother and you are watching Danish Learning World. Today we are going to discuss a topic that is highly relevant to our education, career, professional lives and everyday challenges. How to think creatively and solve problems effectively. Every day we face different kind of problem. For a student, it could be an academic challenge or a career decision. For a teacher, it could be a classroom challenge. For a professional, it could involve technology, workplace issue, decision making, or managing unexpected situation. But the important question is solving a problem only about having enough knowledge, or does our way of thinking also play a major role? Creative thinking allows us to look at familiar problems from new perspective, while effective problem solving help us turn those ideas into practical solutions. In today's conversation, we will explore what creative thinking really means, what prevents people from thinking differently, how we can approach complex problems, and how students and professionals can develop these skills. So let's begin today's interesting conversation. To begin with, what exactly is creative thinking? Is creative thinking only about inventing something new, or does looking at every problem from a different perspective also count as creative thinking? Is creative thinking only about inventing something new, or does looking at everyday problems from a different perspective also count as creative thinking?
Oh, it absolutely counts. Creativity isn't just about flashy inventions or building the next world changing gadget. It's also that quiet shift where you look at a boring, everyday problem like how you organize your desk, how you explain a concept to a student, or how to cut preparation time in half. That perspective shift is creative thinking. It's the same muscle, just flexed in a smaller room. And lots of innovation starts there with humble reframing, not dramatic breakthroughs. So, yeah, seeing the ordinary is creative thinking.
Is creativity a natural talent that some people are born with, or is it a skill that anyone can develop through practice, learning, and experience?
Mostly it's a skill. Sure, some folks start with a little more natural ease, like seeming to doodle brilliant ideas without trying. But research and experience both show that deliberate practice, like learning creative methods, brainstorming properly, studying examples, and embracing failure, can grow anyone's creative capacity. Think of it like learning an instrument. Natural talent helps a bit, but consistent practice is what really turns noise into music. So, yes, you can train it, and often the biggest gains come from everyday people practicing on everyday problems.
Do fear of failure, social pressure, traditional thinking, or lack of confidence limit our creativity?
Hmm. All three can clamp down like a lid on a pot. Fear makes you play it safe. Social pressure nudges you to copy what's acceptable. Traditional thinking narrows the box. And low confidence whispers, don't even try. But noticing those locks is already part of picking them. Small, safe experiments, sharing rough drafts, finding one supportive peer. Those chip away at fear, piece by piece. Creativity thrives when it's allowed to be messy. And honestly, confidence often follows action, not the other way around. So start small and let momentum build.
How can we distinguish between the actual root cause of a problem and merely its symptoms?
Checking. One practical way is to keep asking why instead of settling for the first explanation. Symptoms are the visible effects, like a student doing poorly on an exam. The root cause could be weak study habits, missed concepts, or even sleep issues. If you don't identify the actual cause, the problem will keep coming back. So gather evidence, compare situations, and test whether removing a suspected cause actually prevents the issue. That's how you move from treating effects to solving causes. It makes solutions more durable and less like whack a mole.
How can we train ourselves to look at a problem from multiple perspectives and discover better solutions?
A few reliable ways. Deliberately swap viewpoints. How would a customer see this? Now, how about an engineer? Math stakeholders do quick extreme brainstorming, even silly angles, they loosen assumptions. Borrow frameworks like design thinking, root cause analysis, and systems thinking. Then practice. Revisit old problems and ask, what did I miss? What if the opposite is true? Over time, your brain starts flipping perspectives more automatically, and solutions get sturdier.
How can tools such as internet, artificial intelligence, digital platforms enhance our creativity and problem solving ability? And can excessive dependence on technology actually reduce our ability to think independently?
Checking. Used well, digital tools can expand what we imagine and create. The internet opens access to diverse knowledge. AI can suggest ideas, summarize complexity, and help explore alternatives. Digital platforms let people with different skills collaborate in ways that weren't possible before, often sparking better solutions. But over reliance can dull independent thinking if we let tools replace reflection instead of supporting it. The sweet spot is using tech as a partner, not a crutch. Let it handle grunt work so your mind can focus on judgment, curiosity, and meaning. Balance is the key. Tech should extend your creativity, not substitute it.
How should students and professionals use AI so that they don't simply get answers but actually develop their own critical and creative thinking skills?
Checking. Use AI as a practice partner, not an answer machine. Try solving the problem first, then ask AI to critique your approach or offer alternatives. Verify its answers, compare sources, trust your judgment. Use it to brainstorm, test assumptions, or generate questions that stretch your thinking rather than just copy pasting its output. Over time, that keeps your analysis sharp while AI handles the grunt work. Think of it like a sparring partner, not a crutch. The goal is for AI to make you more thoughtful, not more passive.
What role does failure play in creative thinking and problem solving? If an idea or solution repeatedly fails, how can we decide whether to improve it, change our approach, or move on to another idea?
Checking. Failure is feedback, not a verdict. It shows what doesn't work and often points at what might. When something repeatedly fails, look at the evidence. If each attempt teaches you something new, iterate. If you're just circling the same wall, pivot. Ask why the core approach isn't fitting. Maybe the assumptions changed or context shifted. If progress keeps stalling despite careful tweaks, it's usually smarter to change direction than to keep hammering. Decide based on learning value and results, not attachment to a single idea. That's how failure becomes a guide, not a dead end.
If someone faces a complicated problem, is there a simple step-by-step framework they can follow? For example, how should they understand the problem, identify possible solutions, evaluate those solutions, and finally choose the most effective one?
Checking. Sure. A simple practical framework is understand, analyze, create, evaluate, act. First, define the problem clearly. Second, ask why to trace the root cause. Third, brainstorm multiple solutions, even playful ones. Fourth, evaluate options by cost, risk, effort, and likely impact. Finally, act, then review results. If it doesn't work, treat it as learning, not failure. It's a clean loop that helps keep creativity structured and momentum steady.
Does an education system that focuses heavily on textbook memorization and examination sometimes limit students' creativity?
Yes, it can. When exams reward virtually call over exploration, students can get good at repeating instead of inventing. Creativity tends to flourish with open ended tasks, collaboration, real world problem solving, where trial, error, and curiosity are valued. That said, exams aren't all bad. They can test foundations. The key is balance. Use assessments that value reasoning and originality, not just regurgitation. For learners, supplement exam prep with personal projects, reflection, and questioning. That's how creativity survives inside a test heavy system.
In today's competitive job market, how important are creative thinking and problem solving skills for graduate and professionals? Have these skills become as important as technical knowledge and academic qualifications?
Checking. Yes, they're just as vital, really. Technical know how opens the door, but creative thinking and problem solving keep you moving once you're inside. Employers want people who can adapt, connect dots, and innovate when things shift. So it's less a choice between technical versus creative and more combining both. Strong skills plus the ability to think critically and create. That's what makes graduates stand out today.
If a student, teacher, or professional wants to improve their creative thinking, what simple daily exercise or habit would you recommend? Are there practical activities that people can incorporate into daily routine to become better thinkers?
Checking. Start with 15 to 20 minutes a day of intentional thinking. Pick one everyday problem and ask, what if? Or how would someone from another field tackle this? Keep an idea journal. One idea, one question, one lesson every day. Read outside your field, talk with people who think differently, try small creative challenges. Most of all, don't fear mistakes. End each day asking, what did I learn? What could I do differently? What new idea can I try tomorrow? Small, steady habits grow creative muscles. It's not magic, just daily reps. Over time, you'll notice patterns, ask better questions, and that is where better thinking really lives.
What mindset should they develop to face challenges more confidently and turn problems into opportunities? I am asking about student teachers and young professionals.
Checking. Adopt a growth mindset, seeing challenges as learning opportunities, not proof of failure. Stay curious, open to feedback, and willing to question assumptions. And take action instead of waiting for perfect conditions. Small wins build confidence.
Thank you for joining us. Keep think creatively, keep solving problems, and keep learning. See you in the next episode of Danish Learning Wala. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you. Kudafis.